Welcome back to Gentleman's Corner, guys. My name is David. Today is another fantastic Friday smoke. And on this Friday, I am smoking Peterson Irish Oak out of my Peterson 1976 sterling silver system pipe. And it is quite pleasant when it stays lit. So, today I have a couple of different things to discuss. First of all, I have a list. It's a wonderful list. So, first of all, I would like to discuss viewership. This channel is closing in on 100 subscribers. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a giveaway yet. I'm a student, so my funds are limited, so I don't know if I can even afford to do a giveaway. It would be like a corncob pipe and like a Missouri Meerschaum hardwood. Nothing fancy, but it's something. If you're interested, let me know in the comments below. If not, I probably won't do it. But we shall see. The Instagram page is over 200 followers, and the Twitter account is nearing 30 followers, which is very, very nice. I'm very surprised how quickly the Instagram page took off. But I'm pleasantly surprised. So, Peterson Irish Oak is going to be the tobacco review for next week. There is also going to be a new Gentleman's Essentials video that will be focusing on dress shoes. Spoiler alert. Everything that I am going to be reviewing, I personally own. So, there you go. So, won't be anything fancy, but, something that I think should be addressed. Oh, what else? Okay. So, I've had kind of an interesting time this week. One of the videos that I posted, I think it was last week or possibly the week before that, was the first Gentleman's Essentials, which was fountain pens. So recently I remembered that I had a couple of other fountain pens that had been living in a drawer at my parents' house. And this is what the pen looks like. This is the Platinum Vibe. It is Platinum with a G, not Platinum. It is a UK brand that I bought while I was living in London. And I decided that I wanted to give it a try again. And so to that end, I went ahead and started looking for ink cartridges for it because I don't have a converter for it. And the sad thing is, the only fountain pens I currently own are all cross pens, and their cartridges are proprietary, which meant that I had to order new cartridges. So there was this whole debacle about that, but I finally got the cartridges in that I want, and right now I am in the process of cleaning these pens because the ink dried out in them while they were sitting for the last several years. So you may be seeing them out here while I'm writing down notes and things from time to time. So, but I'm kind of trying to make that transition away from ballpoint pens and back to full-time fountain pens. I just feel like they look nicer, they feel nicer in the hand, they write nicer, they look nicer. I like everything about them. So, that's kind of been going on this week, is this whole debacle of like trying to find a fountain pen that works. And actually I've got one on order today, the Pilot Metropolitan, that is coming in today. So that I can use it to write notes at the office, because medium nibs are they bleed too much and the lines are too thick. So giving it a shot, we will see how that goes. In case you don't follow the Instagram channel, I just wanted to share with you, I got this in yesterday. This is Peterson Irish Oak, St. Patrick's Day 2018. Sorry, all of the tins look the same to me for the most part. So, but this is St. Patrick's Day limited edition 2018 from Peterson. I went ahead and got this from Pipes and Cigars.
This is the last year I think we're going to be able to get the annual blends.
just based on the FDA deeming regulations. And that really bums me out because, McClellan's Christmas cheer was such a mainstay of so many pipe smokers' routines. The St. Patrick's Day from Peterson, likewise, kind of a mainstay of some people's blends. So what I'm going to do with this tin is cellar it until next year, open it up, and then I will have one bowl of it a year until it runs out. Hopefully by then regulations have changed and I'll be able to get more. But for the time being, this is my only supply. So we will do that. Now, I wanted to go ahead and get to an issue that was brought to my attention. Well, not an issue, but just a comment that was made on a video recently that just kind of got me thinking. And it's nothing against the person who commented. I totally get where they're coming from. But it just kind of got me thinking. And the comment was essentially a little bit of constructive criticism about my presentation, which I always appreciate. I like I said on so many times, I'm used to speaking to a live audience, so sometimes my presentation over the camera can feel a little awkward or a little forced. And I've got wind again today. I'm not thrilled about this. So the comment was essentially some criticism, or I guess constructive criticism about my presentation. But the other thing that they mentioned was, I like your content, but would a gentleman really be wearing, I think the phrase they used was that thing around your neck, referring to my necklace, and such loud shirts in reference to some of the Hawaiian shirts that I wear while I'm presenting. And I'll just address that really quickly, but it brings up a broader issue. And this has been suggested by a couple of my viewers that I address this topic of what does it mean to be a gentleman in the modern day? In response to the person's comment specifically, I live in Texas. It's really, really hot down here. The only time that I can smoke is outdoors. So would I like to be wearing something a little nicer? Yes, but I wear whatever keeps me most comfortable while I'm smoking out here for an hour. And as to the necklace, this is the James Avery Shield of Faith cross necklace. It was a gift from my family, and I wear it every day unless I am wearing a tie. So it's just something that I have built into my wardrobe, and I have no plans on changing it. But it brings up this broader issue of, what does it mean to be a gentleman in the modern day? And, in the 1910s and 20s, being a gentleman had just as much to do with your social standing as it did your wardrobe. But a lot of it had to do with social standing. Gentlemen were considered upper middle class into the aristocracy. And that's not what being a gentleman today means. And granted, everything I'm about to say is my opinion. So I am not stating fact. I am not spouting the gospel of gentlemanliness. Everything I'm about to say is my opinion. But to me, being a gentleman in the modern day has less to do with what you're wearing so much as the attitude that you maintain. And what I mean by that is I used to work in homeless ministry, and I met so many men in the homeless shelters that I could say beyond a reasonable doubt were far much more so deserving of the title gentleman than some of the CEOs that I've met. I think you can wear the most expensive suits, be they made to measure or bespoke. You can wear the $23,000 Rolex. You can wear all of the fine jewelry and the Italian leather shoes that were handmade for you and all of these things. yet still you are not a gentleman until you have the attitude that goes with it. On the flip side of that, I have met people that wear some of the most bizarre things, and I would still call them more deserving of the title gentleman. To me, a gentleman is somebody who is kind, polite, attentive, and well-cultured. But the most important is perhaps kind and polite. There's this fascination with, I guess, the British aristocratic gentleman. This would be like the Lord of the Manor, or to give a more modern example, Harry Hart from Kingsman, and the Kingsman line of agents from that franchise. And I would absolutely agree, they are gentlemen. But I don't think it has so much to do with what they're wearing so much as their attitude. I think that when a gentleman walks into the room, everyone should be pleased to see him. He should be welcome in most social circles. But I also feel like at the same time, a gentleman should be able to make whoever he is talking to feel like the most important person in the room. To me, that is quintessential. I feel like a gentleman should also be well-cultured enough to be able to speak on a variety of topics with different people. For instance, I know a fair amount about pipes and cigars, but I don't know everything. But I know enough that I can talk with somebody who is well-versed in those topics. I don't know a great deal about politics, but I know enough that I can converse with somebody at a competent level. Alternatively, I know a great deal about law, and I don't expect everybody to be an expert. But a gentleman, in my opinion, would be well-versed enough to be able to speak at least superficially about it. I feel the same way about most topics. I am no expert, but I'm at least competent enough to speak with it at length for some period of time. So, like I said, I think being a gentleman has less to do with what you're wearing so much as how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, and how you act in good company. I feel like a gentleman would never look down on somebody else without good cause, and never for something as superficial as the way that they are dressed or the beliefs that they hold, unless they are truly repugnant. So that's just my take on the modern gentleman and what I think it means to be a gentleman. And I may expound on this at some point in another video, but I've already professed at length what my views are. So now, moving on. I am starting a new feature here on the channel, sort of inspired by other channels that I have seen use this, and I think it's a neat idea. Probably with my small audience, it won't really be necessary, but I thought I'd give it a shot. If you are following me on Twitter, feel free to tweet me. Make sure to tag me and use the hashtag AskGentleman'sCorner, all one word. And tweet me any questions that you have, be it about pipe smoking or just about anything else that you think I might be able to answer. But today I do have one question. This is from the Breyer Report, which is a pipe smoking news website. You can follow them on Twitter. You can also follow them here on YouTube. They often leave comments on my videos, so feel free to look them up. But several weeks ago I said, I don't often keep abreast of pipe smoking issues in the media. Breyer Report is where I get all of my news. For pipe smoking, anyway. So, the Breyer Report asks me, what does the younger generation think of pipe smoking? Does it get lumped in with cigarettes? So, excuse me. To answer the question, I'm probably the wrong person to be asking that, just because I'm in the community. Most of my friends are in the community. And I'm also a grad student, so I have no life right now. I have not seen another person my age in a while. But I will say, based on my knowledge of things before I got really into pipe smoking, I would say that it really doesn't have a presence in the younger generation's minds. And what I mean by that is it's thought of as kind of old-fashioned, kind of fuddy-duddy. Everyone has a grandfather who smoked a pipe, but nobody really thinks of it as still happening today. Everybody thinks of cigarettes or cigars, but nobody really thinks of pipes. And I think part of that is the fact that people are not walking around on the street smoking pipes. At least not here in Texas. And that's the other part of the problem, is there just aren't a lot of pipe smokers in Texas. So I'm not the best person to ask about the broader national attitude towards pipe smoking. I would say pipe smoking might be seeing a sort of a renaissance on kind of a microscopic level. People in my generation probably are not as opposed to pipe smoking the way that they are cigarettes. And I think part of that is there isn't this association with cancer and poor health the way that it is with cigarettes. And it's seen of as classier. It's a more philosophic thing to do, to smoke a pipe, especially because Albert Einstein and Mark Twain were pipe smokers. But I don't think that it's really at the forefront of my generation's mind when they think of smoking. So to answer the question, I don't think it gets lumped in with cigarette smoking, but I don't know that it's necessarily on my generation's radar either. So I think my generation is probably more tolerant of pipe smoking. They don't see it as that big an issue, probably because they don't see it all that much. Cigars are sort of making a comeback with my generation, especially in the business world, because so many businessmen drink whiskey and smoke cigars. So, and I think that's leading some people to re-examine pipe smoking. So, I don't know. So, but I appreciate your question, and I wish I had a better answer for you. So, but other than that, that's all I really have for you this week. Be looking out for the Peterson Irish Oak pipe tobacco review next week, along with a new Gentleman's Essentials video. If you liked this video or any of the other videos I have on YouTube, please hit that like button. If you'd like to see more videos from my channel, please hit subscribe. Other than that, my name is David. This has been Gentleman's Corner. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can find the links to my Instagram and Twitter accounts in the description box below. But other than that, have a great one.